Hello everyone, I am the Lore Explorer and this is Subnautica. I'm happy to have the lifepods out of the way. Now we can get into the real story. For the last minute or so, Riley has been staring at the sky. Riley only knew the name of Avery Quinn, captain of the Sunbeam, but the small trading vessel from a small transgov in the Andromeda galaxy had 5 other people on board, and they have all given their lives to try to rescue us. Now it's up to us to make sure that never happens again. Luckily for us, a quick search of the island rewards us with an intact purple tablet. Using this to get inside the strange building, we see the walls have a strange design on them. Our PDA tells us it's made out of some unknown metal, but a lot of it seems like one solid piece. Further on, we find a holographic computer we can try to read. Our PDA isn't able to translate the data, but it tells us that this terminal is likely a solid-state computer, and from what I understand, that means it doesn't have any moving parts inside, and the whole thing is right here in front of us. Further on in the building, we find an ion cube, which may be a backup power source for this building. This single cube holds the equivalent energy of 5,000 tons of TNT, and like any sane human being, we pick it up, toss it around, and put it in our pocket to save it for later. Another computer in the building allows our PDA to map it out and work out some information on it. The metals to construct this building have been brought here from another planet. Its power is being produced by a geothermal power plant at some unknown location on the planet. And lastly, to interact and shut down this building, we have to make our way to the control room in the lower section. On our way, we run into the coolest elevator in the solar system, likely accomplished by force fields activating as we fall past them. Right after that, we find the biggest moon pole in the solar system. Either precursors had humongous Cyclops submarines as well, or this is where multiple precursors with Dr. Seamoss-esque submarines and meet up to do whatever needed to be done here. There are a few things in this building we will come back to later when we learn a little more about the precursors. For now, we need to get to the control room and figure out why the Aurora and Sunbeam got shot down. Walking up to the control terminal, we can see whatever behind it is scannable. This is the device's energy core. The scan tells us this thing is holding the equivalent of 100 megaton nuclear detonation, which is around 6,000 times more powerful than the bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima. The scan tells us the computer here has been set up to shoot down any ship within its range. Though the range isn't exactly known, the device is able to direct this energy at a target in orbit using the gravitational pull of the planet to reach targets not directly overhead. But that doesn't tell us why it's shooting these ships down. All that's left now is to hit this big green button. Thank goodness it's not a red button, because that'd be scary. Okay, this is scary anyway. A force field is holding our arm in place. A robotic arm comes out of the console, and a needle comes out of the arm. We get stabbed in the arm, and then we get let go. Aw, damn it, the button turned red. That's just great. The terminal is emitting some sound, and our PDA tells us what it's trying to communicate with us. Warning, infected individuals may not disable the weapon. This planet is undergoing quarantine. Now that you mention it, yeah, where did everyone go? This huge building with no one in it? Under orders to shoot everything down, while warning of quarantine. I think we can add 2 and 2 together here. Whatever infection we have has likely gotten to the precursors as well. But we will get to that later. Now that we aren't getting rescued, we should probably go check out the Aurora. There could be some good survival equipment there. Plus, Riley has always wanted to get a good look at Aurora's engines, up close. Jeez, these things are huge. Let's back up and get a better look. Oh, holy crap, whoa! The Reaper has used the appendages on its face to grab onto our Seamoth. Alarms start blaring as the Seamoth starts being torn apart. It takes bite after bite at the thin metal keeping us from the teeth of this Reaper. It finally lets us go, and our poor Seamoth is on its last legs. But she held up, running, scrambling for cover. We get some distance. The surface, I doubt it'll chase us this far. it grabs us again and jumps out of the water. Our sea moth crumbles and explodes, but we are able to escape the wreckage unscathed. Quickly grabbing our sea glide, we get the heck out of Dodge. Closely following the side of the Aurora, sea mothless may I add, leads us to the entrance. While I explore, I'll tell you the backstory we find here in a cohesive order. First, some basic history of the Subnautica universe. Men and women freely traveled the stars. They began setting up civilizations whose governments were independent of those of Earth's. After a while, it became evident this can't be left as a free-for-all for power, so 37 of these separate governments came together to create the Charter. The Charter was a set of rules to ensure a peaceful expansion of the universe. These governments became trans-government. Each trans-gov had to pay into the Trans-System Federation, or TSF, an independent police-like group who will enforce these laws. The TSF would ensure the trans-govs weren't abusing their citizens, as well as ensuring they allowed free passage through their phase gates. They also did things like kept the peace by ensuring no weapons were being made. To be a trans-gov, you had to be in control of an entire solar system as well as a phase gate, which would grant them easy and quick access to the solar system next to theirs. One of these trans-govs was the Altair Corporation, who we worked for. Altair is a pretty big company. It's the official supplier of the TSF, which shows how influential they are. They're so influential, they were able to get the money to construct a new phase gate very far away from any other Altair phase gate. To make the 1 year and 9 month trip to the Aurora arm, Altair is launching the new flagship, the Aurora. The Aurora is a long-range capital ship, which may as well be a cruise ship. Multiple canteens, a VR suite with a virtual cinema, a zero-G gym. This ship was decked out, but unbeknownst to most of the crew, the Aurora had a secondary mission. The Aurora has also been given a search and rescue mission by the Mongolian Transgov. Their emissary, Yaki Kasar, is aboard Aurora to assist this mission in any way possible. The Aurora would be going past the planet 4546b to perform a slingshot maneuver. While there, the Aurora is meant to do a long-range scan to see if they can find the Degasi, a Mongolian ship whose last known location was near planet 4546b. But as we know, that didn't go to plan. After a small navigation error, the Aurora starts closing in on the planet.
This is an emergency distress call. Aurora is on collision course with planet 4546b. Sending all available environmental data. Please respond with rescue solution out.
This is Altair HQ. Attached to this message, you should find the blueprints for an escape ship that we calculate will be capable of breaking orbit and getting you back to the nearest phase gate. Now, it's designed to use materials you can find in situ, but it's gonna need one hell of a power source. Now, we'll be sure to...
Aurora long-range communications really offline.
And that's where we picked up the game. But while exploring the Aurora, we were able to get our hands on some amazing equipment, and repair the Aurora's drive core, preventing more radiation from leaking out and allowing us to explore without a radiation suit. But now we have a new quest at hand. If the same thing happened to the Degasi, the crew may still be out there somewhere. We survived. They could too. And we even found some buildings similar to ours that suggest that they might have survived and camped out on the floater island that we found earlier. But that chapter of the book will be told in another episode. I'm glad to be back to telling in-detail stories rather than the lifepods, which were quite simple. But if I didn't cover them first, I don't think I ever would. Today, we learned about the precursor building, the quarantine enforcement platform, which holds up to its name, and shot down the Sunbeam, Aurora, and Degasi out of the sky. And we learned a bit about the universe of Subnautica, plus what Aurora was doing near this planet anyway to begin with. And we explained why there was one creepy dude praying in an escape pod. But for now, this is the Lore Explorer, hoping I don't get eaten by a Reaper like my poor sea moth. If you liked the episode, consider subscribing and sharing the video with your friends. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I hope to see you in the next video.